Aforementioned Disability, a large set of unfinished stories by BleedingEquine. Part 2. Inhaling Paint, with 420 words. Said Twilight Sparkle, knee-deep in a bathtub filled with the drug bath salts. She continued to submerge her head into her already covered body, her tail barely floating on the surface. Rainbow Dash was on the ceiling fan, contemplating that she was a Soviet-Russian spy, infiltrating Equestria for Mother Russia's benefit. Her face entirely red from injecting so much heroin into her face. Pinkie Pie was on the living room floor of the tree home. She was absolutely still, her eyes flared up from the intense realm she was exploring. Fluttershy was currently raping Spike to satisfy urge of having dragon babies with him. Her belly was full of semen, and she treated it like she was going to be a pregnant mother. Her face covered in a cloud of cocaine, and Spike was filled with a mixture of Viagra and bath salts. Together, all these ponies and one dragon were having the time of their lives, all thanks to a magical man who came to them in dire need. His name was Worth, a magical drug man who disappeared out of existence and traveled to the multiverse to sell his amazing product of drugs. He stood watching his customers tripping balls in his trench coat and gas mask, counting the amount of bits in his bag. Over the centuries, Worth the multiverse drug dealer had so much different currencies in his dimensional realm that he did not know what to do with. So now it's become a hobby at this point. Worth opened the door to leave before being stopped by Discord himself, holding a massive bag of bits. Worth looked at the chaos entity with suspicion. He never liked chaos in any form. "Discord, what do you want?" I heard you came around and... Let me guess, you want the rainbow roofie. That's pretty potent if you ask me, chaos entity. Look, I'll give you whatever you want. Anything. Just let me have a good time. It's been millennia since you came to this realm. I need my fix. Worth pondered at what he could get from powerful chaos entity, and he realized that he didn't really need anything, so might as well fuck with him. Give me your precious Princess Celestia's crown, then we have a deal. Done, said Discord with a snap of his fingers, Celestia's crown in his hand. Rainbow Dash is sappy, with 219 words. Sunshine and light, burning desire to make everything burn alive. How could any pony deal with these emotions? It sucks to have so much you want to be turned into sour dust. I'm Rainbow Dash. I wanted to be the best Wonderbolt in all of the world. The tryouts I succeeded in every attempt, until I tripped on a piece of corn and was beaten by my rival, Lightning Douche. And now I'm sitting down, in a chair, frowning. I don't frown. I'm Rainbow Dash. I'm supposed to be awesome. Sigh. It's no use. What is going on? What is that? A pink blur? A tornado of powerful pink circling at me with power. I must run. No, it's coming too fast, and my depression is weighing me down. I can't fly. This depression, my Celestia. I didn't know tornadoes existed anymore. I must not be doing my job. Damn you, depression, you heavy-hooved hammerer, said Rainbow while lazily standing up from the park chair to meet her end. There, the wind shifted more powerfully as the tornado came quickly. Rainbow turned away and closed her eyes. Make it quick, you vicious tornado, said Rainbow with a pout. Then a sudden quietness that felt odd and unexpected. Hope in a slaughterhouse, with 431 words. The scent of flowers, wafting their decadent stench in the atmosphere. Many yellow daisies as far as the equine eye can see, and a vibrant sight of endless comfort. A blistering sun glistening down the earth where the skin warms to the powerful rays. One mare, pink-eyed and blue-skinned, throws herself through the mass of daisies, rolling around in it all. Giggling while indulging such decadence, she couldn't help herself after sitting alone all day, doing nothing. No, this was what kept her warm and happy, her maid tied in a ponytail, fully grown. She wanted to take a bite from one of the many flowers, but already ate her fill and didn't want to gain any more weight. Getting heavier always preoccupied her thoughts. It always came up whenever she needed to eat. It would consume her mind, constantly ringing inside her skull. It would almost make her scream. Well, not now, for she is in a heavenly place with the son she always wanted. Now it was time to leave the field of fun and go back home. It was already getting late, and knowing her parents, they would scold her for it. Trotting so well, her legs taking her miles to the town she called Haven. Walking transformed to jubilant running through the crisp air that blew through her mane. She arrived at the town. A signpost read Sunnyville. It was just as she remembered. Bustling town ponies everywhere, marketplaces littering the large marble street, and loud vendors advertising their product with voice. Running home, up the stairs next to the melon cellar towards the small road that led to an apartment plaza. She remembered the door number was 6, and hastily opened it with ease. In the room, the small furniture and the decapitated remains of her mother and father watching her with their heads on their plates. A sudden scream, a frightened fat equine with a shaved bald head and tail, turning her head and saw the familiar pen she lived in. Metal everywhere and a cage-like door sitting in front of her. Not much freedom to move around to, with even a shiver of fear. Was today the day? She looked around. It wasn't feeding time. Where did the noise come from? Suddenly, her door shot open, and she crawled back in fear. Curiously silent and ominous, the door exuded. Shuddering before what could be waiting for her outside, though, the silence broke her shiver. She watched with her large pink eyes, and took a weak step forward. That seemed interesting. I want to see more of that. Anonymous Adventure, with 1,436 words. The sky equated to darkness. Only a starling moon lit high above. My name is Anonymous. I have come to this forsaken place to find what I desire most of all. My feet trudged through the mud that constrained my movement. Vegetation of foreign element surrounded me, and I cut through it all with my simple machete. What a useful tool this is. It really gets the job done in jungle-based climates. So much time in traveling to achieve my destination from plane, road, and on foot. I could smell the baked sugary contents of Sugar Cube Corner in just a few steps. My lantern lights the way towards the place rumored to be hidden deep in this jungle. My plantation with large winged leaves hit my face consistently throughout the trudging. Many plantation with large winged leaves hit my face consistently throughout the trudging. It certainly didn't feel comfortable to have bugs biting your skin with only an expedition suit to protect yourself with such small creatures. My boot covered in mud, and my bare legs covered in bite marks. It was a joyous occasion when I finally found myself to where I needed to go. The area is just as said, rumored from mythology to only come around at this very night. Ancient history sure helped with that, and what a find it was when excavating through the old Egyptian pyramids, the site of equine visitors. Who could have known that they almost looked exactly from the show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic? How questionable that the style fit in every aspect. There just had to be a correlation. They called me mad. Ridiculous. A dumb brony. Well, I have to prove them wrong. Everything will come to fruition once I meet who I expect. True, it seemed absolutely ridiculous that someone would follow through so intently with almost an insane desperation to find a way to a children's cartoon, but in all honesty, friendship truly is magic, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Besides, everything still fit together anyways. It just got crazier and crazier from then on. All of this could be labeled as very odd. But I see myself as opportunistic and would never look back to such things. All has led to this place, a swamp with a floating home sitting idly at my presence. It is made out of wooden sticks strung together with string throughout. Some type of steps made of wooden sticks connected to the watery home. I leapt onto the long step. It shook a bit at my weight. Seeing myself gaining balance, I went on my way to the door, touching the doorknob that is comprised of a thick stick. It turned easily by the strength I exuded. I peered inside and noticed a form. No, it is a woman. She sat ominously, watching my presence with her rainbow irises. She smiled as the door closed behind me at my entry. She had a horn on her forehead, shabby hair, and what seemed to be a gown that overlapped to the ground. I stared like a scared ninny who felt out of place in this ethereal feel. She raised her hand, goading me to come near. I shook with fear at what I was getting into. I had no inkling of what she wanted. "Come here, young faggot." See, there's your problem, Bleedin'. You make these little interesting worlds. Like, these worlds that are like the size of Pluto. But they're interesting to look at. And then you just go and, faggot. That's your problem. I shook my head and she said, her voice was pristine and docile. I shook my head and went my way to where she sat. A single chair in the emptiness of this place, while she seemed to be levitating by herself. I looked towards the orb that sat on the table made of sticks and pondered. "Who are you?" I asked. She grabbed the white orb and let it heighten up to the sky. It turned into smoke until it arrived at the apex of the place before, circling into some kind of cloud and thunderous lightning appearing inside its opening. "This is your stop. It's what you wanted after all. You have been through. I hope you enjoy all the horse cocks you can suck on, faggot," she said, the Luminous Patron. Wait, I still have so many questions. Then I could feel my chair levitating. I lost gravitational pull and started getting sucked into the cyclone. The last thing I saw was the woman waving to me before my head got eaten entirely by the hole. I flew through the massive expanse of light, swirling clouds and horsecocks flying past me through this dimensional rift. Truly, that being sure had an unusual way of talking. Maybe it didn't understand our natural human dialect. Either way, I screamed as the rift sucked me through, horsecocks hitting me in the face and slamming into my groin. I could finally see something in the distance. It looked like an image that was recognizable to me. It was Canterlot Castle, with Ponyville seen from so far. This was it! I finally made it to Equestria. Something so many like myself have dreamed to go for as long as anyone could remember. Then, a sudden, dark tempest. Something was wrong. A black cock jutted out of the exterior energy of the rift and hit me, flying through the rift. I hit top speed, only to smash into the energy and going through it easily. There, I heard a resounding laughter of some type, the sound of a woman laughing her ass off. I finally got through the fluff of the rift and found myself in another. I dusted my eyes with my hand and saw Equestria as it was in the other view. The difference was palpable, however. It seemed that all the buildings were more phallic-shaped. This was definitely not the Equestria I was used to, and before I could scream, it sucked me through its image. Dizziness, a feeling of falling, and overall nausea to the point of unconsciousness. I awoke and stood up to where I was. Looking around me, there was a crowd of ponies watching me. They all looked normal, just like in the show, until I noticed a glaring thing. They all had pulsating cocks, large and in charge, and very hard. I saw no stallions in the group, just mares with horsecock. This was not the place I was meant to go. They just watched. I could only wait at their discretion. Then one pony trotted out of the swarm of cock-throbbing monstrosities. It was Twilight Sparkle, easily recognizable by her horn, wings, and purple color scheme. She raised me up with her hoof, and I felt an air of joy to see one of the main six after all these years. Hi, I'm Twilight Sparkle. Welcome to Equestria Cock. This may be an odd request, but we're having a tough time satisfying our mares, and I know you just got here, but some of us are put out from fucking them to oblivion, and it wasn't enough. What do you mean? All your cocks are hard as diamonds. You all look like you could be ready to go at any moment. Well, our cocks are always hard, but it doesn't mean that they don't get sore after a while from the intense sex we have at a daily basis. Intriguing. I guess you must be pretty desperate for asking a total stranger, let alone another creature, to satisfy your mares. Yes, just go fuck Pinkie Pie first. Her lust is absolutely insatiable. Twilight sat exhausted. She breathed intensely from so much sex that it was incredible she found time to study and be a bookworm. Truly, this Twilight Sparkle had a lot more on her plate than the normal one. Well, where is she? I'm ready to do my duty. You must go through the Isle of Temptation. There, the land of cakes will assail you with sweets that will make you fatter than fatness itself. Then afterwards, you must go and... Are you joking or something? And afterwards, you must go and... Are you joking or something? She's at Sugarcube Corner down the street. You're no fun, said Twilight Sparkle, pouting from the lack of creative reassurance from her new friend. By now, I, Anonymous, stood up and saw that the crowd of Dick ponies left my place. I was just so entranced with the conversation of Dick Sparkle that I barely noticed them at all. Either way, I left the poor, tired pony rest on the ground with her dick sticking out like a totem pole.